Hey everyone, welcome back to another live. My name is Melanie Monaco, and today we're doing another self-love coach interview. If you don't know already, I founded the Self-Love Lifestyle, which is a branding community focused on empowering people to live their most loving lives. And that means love for yourself. My personal philosophy is that when we're living life not in alignment with our values, it's often because of wounds, or if we're having conflict in relationships with other people or within ourselves, shaming ourselves, it's often because of a lack of self-love, a lack of understanding for the deep parts of ourselves that really do need that love. And so I started self-love coaching many years ago after I was teaching yoga and group fitness classes and realizing people know what to do. Like, for the most part, people know to exercise. Then I went to nutrition school. I was like, people know most of the time how to eat healthy. It's just about having the mindset and the support to be able to implement healthy habits. So I started self-love coaching, and then it turned into intuitive eating and body positivity, body confidence, and then just became this whole thing that we do. And now I train and certify self-love coaches. And I get to interview one of those self-love coaches today. So I'm going to be doing an interview with Denise Vega, who just graduated as a certified self-love coach. I know that she has so many amazing things to share from her own personal journey that will inspire you. And I just can't wait to dive. Has a mission of really helping women break free from limiting beliefs. So I'm really excited to dive into that. Hi,
Hello, hello.
how are
I'm
you?
good, and
I'm
you?
good. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful for you and your time.
Oh, well, I was just reminding myself I have your mission in front of me because for those who don't know, part of our program, the accountability of it is you have to create a mission statement. Of course, that's allowed to change over time. Mine certainly has, but can I read some of your mission statement?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Okay, because I really love it, and I feel like it's the perfect starting point for us to talk about the work that you want to do or that you're doing in the world, and helping women. So your mission statement is, I help women break free from limiting beliefs through self-love and wellness practices to feel confident with themselves and their body and show up as their authentic self. My purpose as a coach is to help bring confidence to other women, since it's something I have struggled with for so much of my life.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So let's work backwards. Where, when you talk about struggling with confidence for so much of your life, what was that like, and what has that been like for you?
Yeah, so where do I even start? Because it's honestly something that I struggled with for a majority part of my life up until I started my fitness journey. And it looked like, for example, I've talked about this in lives before, how I used to be in dancing growing up, but I was never really able to fully embody that confidence version of me to really uh, showcase what I was about, what I liked doing, that I was passionate about it because of those limiting beliefs that I had. I was always just so worried about how I looked and how others were perceiving me. And because my mind was so into that, I was just not really fully being present and just enjoying myself. And a lot of the times, just overall, it was just all about how I looked. Even as a teenager, by the age of 15, I was just so worried about my body image. I had a very unhealthy relationship with my body and an unhealthy relationship with food. I was counting calories and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was losing a lot of weight, but it was in a very unhealthy way. And yet I was still comparing myself and not feeling like I looked enough. And so all of that then also reflected in my worth and the relationship that I had at the time, and not just with that person, but also with friends. I feel like I just wasn't allowing myself to be who I truly was just because, I was so worried about what others were going to think, or, just not in the right mindset to truly be present and enjoy my childhood and teenage life because I was just so worried about that.
Yeah. Oh, this is so relatable. I mean, to me personally, but I know to so many people watching. I also did dance growing up. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I did dance for so much of my life. I did like competition dance, which was crazy. I don't know if you did
I
any of that.
did too.
Oh my God. Yeah. Talk about like a recipe for young girls to feel bad about their bodies, to be
Yeah.
judged in that way. Woo. Yeah, I feel you. But even outside of that, just everything you're sharing about how the way that you felt about your body, the like level of thought that you had to put into and like just mental space that you had to put into what you were eating and how others perceived you that then impacted your relationships and more importantly impacted your ability to like enjoy your life.
Exactly.
It's there's so many people who are still stuck in that.
Right. Yeah. And that's the same reason why I chose to do this, because I realized that that narrative is still going on, that narrative of, oh, how we look matters, and what the way, I don't know, I feel like it's just, we've been overall conditioned to believe that that's more important than anything else, right? And it, for me, it started at home, but then it continued, with the things that I saw outside, in TVs, magazines, like everything, all of that influences you, and it feeds that one narrative of like, yeah, how you look matters, and that determines your worth, and for some people, if you don't get certain love, or I guess, I don't know how I would say this, but um I guess depending on the relationships that we have at home, if they're not nurtured, or if they don't tell us any of, be confident with yourself, love, like you're good, whatever, like it matters, and it makes more of an impact and get influence in that way of like, okay, you know what, this does matter, and I need to pay attention to that. And that's kind of what happened with me, right? And once I started my fitness journey, and one thing led to another, and I started incorporating self-love, I was like, oh my gosh, like you were saying, I caught you in the beginning, like you said, that fitness, you kind of realize that everyone knows how to take care of themselves, everyone knows how to, um, the basic things of how to take care of your health, but at the end of the day, what truly matters is the mindset, and a lot of it, if you narrow it down, it has a lot to do with our self-love. And that's whenever I was like, okay, I have to teach other women, because I know how much I have struggled along my life with this, and how much I struggled during those first beginning years of my fitness journey. And, then I found you and I found this self love coaching certification, and I'm so thankful for it.
No. So, yeah.
We lost connection. There you go. Wait, wait, wait. I'm so sorry. I cannot hear you. No. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, I have screen time limits on my phone. So if I'm on Instagram for more than 10 minutes, it's like you need to
Me
get off.
too. I do too.
And I'm like, Instagram, I'm working right now. I'm doing something important.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, we're back. Okay, so you also have the background in fitness. And what have you noticed in terms of incorporating self-love into things like fitness, into things like taking care of your body? What has been the biggest shift?
Ooh, the biggest shift has been just different intentions when it comes to taking care of my body. And I think that I was always trying to incorporate that when I started getting into, because I did do personal training. That's how I started coaching. So once I started to implement self love, I noticed how much more. I was enjoying the journey, how much it wasn't just about achieving a certain look and feeling desperate to get to that. It was more of like, I'm doing this because I love my body and it's a way of taking care of myself. But I'm going to do it regardless. You know, whether the changes come in or not, I'm going to do it regardless. And, you know, as I keep doing that, a lot of the times I notice that is really just our state of mind, you know, that blocks us, that creates this resistance of, okay, why are you not there yet? Or you're comparing yourself. Like, and it's really all about just having that self-awareness, right? And it again goes back to your self-love, because when you incorporate these habits that you have for yourself, because you have that self-love for yourself, you become aware, you naturally become aware of these things, and then you notice the patterns and you kind of just trace it back down, and you're like, okay, you know what, no, I don't want to think this way, or actually I'm wrong for doing this or that. And then that's whenever you have the opportunity to choose a different path for yourself, right? And a lot of the times we think that it's a magic pill that we need, but we don't. We just need to keep going. And once we continue, you know, we get to look back after some time and we realize, like, wait a minute, I've changed, I'm different, I don't accept this anymore, or I'm doing less of this, you know, that doing less of the things that didn't serve us at one point. You know, we notice those things, and that's the self-love journey. That is what it's about. And I think sometimes we just have such a hard time accepting that or realizing that that's what it is. But yeah, I'm so sorry. What was your question? I
No,
feel like
you
I
answered
rambled
it.
off.
Because really talking about like the impact self-love has on the way that you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And it sounds like what you've uncovered is that a lot of it is just self-awareness of understanding why you're doing or not doing the
Yes.
things that are
Yes.
best for you.
So, yeah. And so that is what has allowed me to realize, even for myself, that all along, as I started my fitness journey, it was really all about my body image and me wanting to look a certain way. But as soon as I did start incorporating self-love, I started to practice it slowly. And at the same time, as soon as I discovered that, that's whenever I was like, oh, I have to teach this. Like, women need to know about this. Even as I was in my own journey as well, you know. And I then started doing personal training. And when I started that, you know, I noticed how I was enjoying the journey more. My intentions were different. My mindset was just focused more on how increasing my self-worth. That's what I was focused more. Now that I look back, maybe in the moment I didn't realize it, but now that I'm looking back, I'm like, yeah, that I was actually more focused on that without me even knowing. It's just that at the same time as I was doing personal training, you know, sometimes we do get wrapped up in the world of fitness and of like looking a certain way, and you know, what others are doing. I worked in a team environment, so it was like, okay, you want to fit in and you want to be in that same, you know, kind of vibe or whatever you want to call it. So it's like I felt, but I did feel like self-love really did anchor me to my own beliefs and the way that I wanted to feel, really feel about myself.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So that when you're going into those spaces where there's the energy of like shame and like grind and needing to like work really hard and to have a certain body composition, you can now go into those spaces and be like, okay, I'm actually just doing this for me, because whether or not I do this has no impact on how good of a person I am or how worthy I am of being valued by other people.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That and I think that's what I was trying to do for the
Yeah.
most part. And now that I'm looking back, it's like, yeah, that's exactly how I thought, you know. And I give myself I'm proud of that. Actually, now that we're talking about it, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself for the fact that I stood up with for that. And whenever I realized that it just wasn't in alignment anymore, I chose to move on. And like I said, one thing leads to another, because that is what eventually got me to come across to the self-love coaching certification program. And I was like, wait, what? I didn't know that there was a coaching certification for this. And if I would have known back then, I would have probably maybe done that, but things always happen for a reason and at the perfect time. And I really do feel like it was at the perfect time that this came across to me. And now I'm here. And I'm so
Yeah.
thankful.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it didn't, self-love coaching, there was no self-love coach certification program before I started this one. And now there's a few out there, which is great because we need this work in the world. But it definitely was a new thing. So when you are going out into the world, we've obviously talked about your mission statement, talked about your values and how this work has changed your life. Who do you think is the perfect fit for like somebody who would work with you? Or like who's somebody who do you think, how do I want to face this? How would you describe somebody who's ready or a perfect fit for this work?
Yes. So I would say simply someone who is trying to start their self-love journey and doesn't know exactly how and where, who has maybe um, have started their fitness journey as well, but feels like something is missing and doesn't know, has been struggling with it or has been on and off with it, just because, like I said, a lot of the times we know it's just more of the mindset. But yeah, someone who knows they have these limiting beliefs blocking them from truly embodying this confident version of themselves. And when I say limiting beliefs, I'm talking about fear of judgment, lacking confidence, having self doubt, not trusting themselves, or simply needing that accountability to really get them, because a lot of the times we know what we got to do to
Yeah,
not just take care of ourselves, but to embody this confident version of ourselves. But that accountability part is so hard sometimes,
yeah,
right? Like, even myself, I was just talking to my yoga instructor, like, girl, I need you to do another challenge, because I have been like on and off with my things. Like, I just haven't been consistent. So it's like, I feel like we all need that, and if you are watching this and you feel called to, like, okay, you know what, I think this is something that I need, you know I also have these confidence transformation sessions for free that I don't charge or anything. I just want to see where you're at and guide you and lead you. It doesn't have to be anything like, oh, yes, you're doing coaching with me or anything like that. Like, not at all. It's just for you to see where you're at. And yeah.
that's amazing. Yeah, y'all should definitely take Denise up on that. And I know you've done a couple of workshops and yeah, do you have another workshop coming up?
Yes. Yes, so I actually have two, because so here in Houston there was a storm last week. I don't know if you heard about it, but it was a pretty bad
Oh
storm,
my God.
and a lot of people didn't have electricity for almost a week. Some
Oh my
people,
gosh.
but the place that we were hosting the event at, the workshop at, didn't have electricity. So it just only felt right to postpone it. So I actually have two now for the month of June. But yeah, here in Houston. So if you are in Houston, or you can come by over here, I'll be doing two workshops June 8th with my yoga instructor. She is freaking amazing at what she does, and I'm so excited to collaborate with her. That is going to be all about body positivity and self gratitude, how to embrace that, and also learning how to tap into our feminine energy. And we're going to have some yoga led by her as well, and some tea, and just, girl time. It's going to be amazing. So I'm so excited for that. And then on June 22nd is the event that had to get postponed, which is all about self-love through singing bowl meditation. So my best friend, shout out to Arlette, she is a sound bowl certified sound bowl healer. I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's done events before, and I honestly don't know what took me so long to come up with the idea. I think I had the idea, but I was just myself doubting
Yeah.
myself. And eventually, I started doing these workshops, and I was like, let's do it. Why didn't I? Like, I realized, you know what? How cool would it look coming, hosting an event with someone that I know that she's like, her and I were super close. So we started organizing it, and even though it had to get postponed, we're still super excited for it. Things happen for a reason, and that's going to be June 22nd, and it's all about how to cultivate self acceptance and self trust through sound bowl meditation.
Cool. That's amazing. I love sound healing. It's like so transcendent. So I'm really excited that you're pairing both that with the self-love work. I think it's going to be really, both your workshops sound incredible, and they're both in Houston.
Yes, they're
Okay,
both here in Houston.
cool. We actually have a lot of coaches in Texas.
Yay!
Yeah, so I
Oh
hope you share it in the Facebook group, because I
my
bet that there are other people who would want to show
gosh.
up. But yeah, well, we're just getting to time, but before we go, I would love to know what your biggest self-love celebration is of going through the self-love coach certification course.
Ooh. Honestly, I would say my biggest win, I would say I have two. The one, completing the self-love coaching certification itself is a huge win, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm the type of person that sometimes I've started things and I don't finish. And a lot of times looking back, I feel like it just wasn't in alignment with me. I don't beat
Mhm.
myself up for it. But I did have doubts. I did have doubts of like, oh my gosh, am I actually gonna complete this? Am I gonna do this? And I was scared in the beginning, but I'm so glad that I went through with it, because it has taught me so freaking much about my own self-love journey and on how I can help others as well. Like, it just all came together like a puzzle, and it has been beautiful to see it myself. And I know it's going to be even more beautiful to bring all of this to life. So I'm so excited. And that's my biggest win, like the fact that I actually did it. And my second win is the fact that that has led me to do these in person workshops. Because to be honest, I don't think that I would have done it just
Yeah.
because sometimes I myself get wrapped up in my own mind. And it's crazy, because I've been talking about self love, and people from the outside looking in can seem like, oh, she's so confident now, and like blah, blah, blah. But it's hard. It has
It
been
is.
hard,
Yeah.
and I feel like we're always constantly breaking through levels of our own confidence. And I feel like this has helped me break a different level of my own confidence. And, that's a huge win for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it is a huge win, just because to
There you go. Okay. I can't hear you yet. There you go.
um to respond to your first win, that is to complete a course like this is such a huge win, because online courses in general, like all in this world and just across the board, have like a 10% completion rate. It's crazy how few people actually complete online courses. But ours has more like a 90% completion rate. So that's a really big deal. And I think some of that is because we have the accountability, and the community, and the work itself becomes so fulfilling because it's mission driven and you feel the results, and then you're really excited because you're like, wait, this feels so good. Like, oh my gosh, I'm realizing all these things about myself. I really want everybody to feel this way about themselves too. So it becomes this like mission driven experience that then you're not completing it just for yourself, but you're completing it because you want to help other people. And of course, build the life that you want through this work. And your second win of being able to go and do the workshops in person, I mean, yeah, having the structure to have like the practices and the worksheets and the tools and the techniques, I feel like it helps so much to be able to be like, okay, here's how I'm going to structure this. Here's how I'm going to do this. Because as you said, you already were talking about self-love, but it's so helpful to be able to see like the templates of the different ways that it can be done, and to also just have the people cheering you on and believing in you as you bring these visions to life. So I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited for the people who get to work with you moving forward and have been working with you, and I'm celebrating you.
Oh, thank you so much, Melanie. I'm super, super forever grateful for you and for your coaching certification. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. So where can people connect with you?
Through Instagram, Denise Vega is my username. I've been on and off from TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, managing two social media accounts can be a little bit hectic,
Yeah.
but I am trying to get back to that, but eventually I will. But for now, here through Instagram on my username, Denise Vega.
Okay, perfect. So people will connect with you there, and of course you're tagged in the video. And I'm just so excited for people to reach out to you. So you have your free session, your 2 workshops, and yeah, if you want to connect with me and the Self Love Lifestyle, our next round is July 1st for the Self Love Coach certification. So there's so many ways to do this work, but thank you so much for joining.
Yes, no, thank you so much. And for anyone also watching, trying to consider doing the certification, please do because it's amazing. I loved it.
Oh, thank you for that. Well, keep in touch. I can't wait to continue to see you shine, and I'll talk to you soon. And thanks to everyone who watched.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.